Kia ora, and welcome to Friday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect Aotearoa. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz, and today we start with news that there were many central banks reviewing their settings overnight, and most stayed unchanged. But first up, we can report a considerable surprise in the November CPI result for the US. Markets had expected a 3.1% rate, but there was no October reading due to the shutdown problems, and this may have affected the collecting of November data. In any case, the November result was published as a rise of 2.7%, a sharply lower level that no analyst saw coming. Apparently, falling rents were a big part of the retreat. And don't forget, the last US BLS boss who delivered unwelcome results was fired by the administration. In any event, financial markets have taken it at face value, accepting there's no affordability problem, just as the president has claimed. An official US initial jobless claims came at the expected 255,000, so there are now 1.882 million people on these benefits, fractionally more than the 1.864 million in the same week a year ago. In non-administration controlled data, the news isn't so bright. The Philly Fed's December factory survey fell sharply again, retreating as it has done in the past 2 months. And this came even as new orders actually rose, although from a low level. It is a survey that has reported future conditions very positive for more than a year now, but also reporting current conditions as languishing. The similar Kansas City Fed factory survey fell into a mild contraction in December, a sharpish fall from November. Again, those surveyed were still upbeat, probably because of new orders ticked higher, but more companies are reporting higher prices paid for supplies. In Canada, they are reporting rising SME business optimism, and the highest since May 2022. The Taiwan Central Bank left its policy rate unchanged at 2% overnight, and the ECB held theirs unchanged too at 2.15%. Sweden held their 1.75% rate unchanged as well in their overnight meeting, and Norway held theirs at 4%. But the English Central Bank had a need to cut theirs by 25 basis points to 3.75% in a split 5-4 decision, and the 4 dissenters wanted no cut. Japan will review its policy rate later today and is widely expected to raise it by 25 basis points. In Australia, inflation expectations rose to 4.7% in December from 4.5% in November, and they've now been at or above 4.5% for 6 of the past 7 months. Global freight rates for containerised cargoes rose 12% last week to be 43% lower than year-ago levels. The rise was driven by the very much stronger demand in outbound China to the US rates. Separately, bulk cargo rates fell 13% last week, but are now 50% higher than year-ago levels. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.13%, down 3 basis points from yesterday, and the price of gold will start today at $4,367 an ounce, and up another $35 from yesterday, which we make as a new record high. Silver is at $63 an ounce and back sharply off its record high. And American oil prices are slightly firmish from yesterday at just under $56.50 a barrel, while the international Brent price is still just under $60 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is unchanged from yesterday, still just on 57.8 US cents, against the Aussie with 20 basis points softer at 87.3 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're up 10 basis points at 49.3 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 62, and again little change from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $88,092 and up 1.6% from yesterday. Volatility over the past 24 hours has been moderate at just on plus or minus 2.3%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. We'll do this again on Monday.